Today we're talking about the 5 reasons why the INFJ's intelligence gets underestimated. We know that our intelligence gets underestimated. You could ask any INFJ, no INFJ will tell you, oh, people think I'm so smart, and then it turns out I'm not. This is not something we experience. We experience it over and over again that people doubt us, that people don't believe that we could do something, that people are not aware of what is going on in our mind. And today we're going to talk about the 5 reasons why this is particularly happening to INFJs and if this is something we might want to change in a couple of situations. Before I get started, I have a rather new poster for you. It's the formula to the INFJ Epic Life. This is the basis of the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. So if you want to get that free poster, or you say, this is my time, I want to take it to the next level and I want to get the audio guide, everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Reason number 1, the INFJ's intelligence gets underestimated is because we have an internal logic. That is like the basis that we have to be aware of. This is not something that only concerns INFJs, but if we neglect this aspect, we cannot really move forward. So the first thing is that our logic is really internal. We make conclusions about situations that are very uniquely to us. We make those conclusions based on the life experience we've had. We make those conclusions based on certain understandings that we have made throughout the years. Those are things that are so uniquely you that people cannot understand them. So there is no way to make other people see that unless you actually show them the results. So we have to be aware that just because something is very clear to you and it makes total sense, there is no way people are going to get it. And if you want people to see what you're about and that you got what it takes, you have to start putting those things into action. It's not enough to understand something. If you want others to understand it as well, you have to show them the results. It's another question of if we want others to understand it. Very often we say, I'm good with that. Like, I'm totally fine that people underestimate me. That actually gives me the upper hand. I can win in certain situations because I'm not looking at it from a perspective of, oh, all those people are thinking that I'm going to level up. No, you actually are the underdog. You're the person who gets things done. And that can be an advantage. But we have to be aware of why this is happening and stop asking ourselves, why are people not getting it? They're not getting it because they cannot see it. Reason number 2, why people underestimate the INFJ's intelligence is because we neglect and we ignore external logic. So external logic is absolutely everything that has been proven right. It's the law. It's, things that have worked forever. It's externally observable facts. We as INFJs are able to create something new out of what has existed before because we can ignore those things. Every new invention in the world, is based on the fact that one person said, okay, this is what existed so far, but I can see beyond that. But most people cannot. They look at this is what is real and this is what is true, and they're not able to look away from that. In some areas, we as INFJs do that as well. It's not to say that, oh, we have like this immense capacity for this, but we have to be aware that we love to ignore external facts. We love to completely ignore what has been true forever and to look at our internal logic. And this can be a huge advantage as well because we are able to create something new and we're not being hindered by those unspoken rules that might hold others back when we are able to look at the truth. So what does that mean? Is that something that is entirely great? No, it's not. Because it's one thing to not be able to ignore those external things and therefore not being able to, look outside the box. That's not our problem. But what we have to learn is that we have to use those externally observable facts from time to time to keep ourselves grounded. Because if we don't do that, then we will have a concept in our mind of how things work. And if there's contradiction towards that, we're not going to look at it. But those externally observable facts are going to make the difference. This is, for example, very true if you think of all of those infatuations that we INFJs have, where the externally observable fact is this person hasn't called you, this person doesn't want to hang out with you, that person shows no interest. But in our mind, it's like, no, we had this connection, a couple of months ago, and therefore there's something real. And the reason why they don't want to hang out is because we make them uncomfortable, and so on and so forth. So these kind of thoughts, these kind of logics that are based on us ignoring externally observable facts are keeping us stuck in situations that are not helping us move forward. Because looking back, you recognize, yeah, that was the truth. I just didn't want to look at the facts. So when it comes to you creating amazing things in your future, know that this is a benefit that you're able to ignore those externally observable facts. But just because you can, that doesn't mean that you should do that every single time. Make a double check. Ask yourself, is there really something that is keeping me from doing the thing that is out of the box? And then you can say, oh no, there is nothing that is actually keeping me back. It seems like it, but it isn't really like that. And I see that I'm making progress. So keep that in mind when it comes to externally observable facts. But that is one of the reasons why the INFJ's intelligence gets underestimated, because to the outside, it looks like we're not even looking at true logic. Reason number 3, we're very emotionally intelligent beings. And believe it or not, people put you in categories. They either put you in categories of emotionally intelligent, or they put you into the category of, oh, that's a smart person who can make things happen. But the truth is, we're both. Just because we're able to connect with others and read them, that does not mean that we don't have what it takes to create something out of the box, to create something incredible. We as INFJs have introverted intuition, and that in itself helps us to create like this big picture thing that is amazing, that is existed in our mind, and fueled with all the kind of logic we have, we can create something incredible. But we're going to stay in our own way if we think people are going to get the fact that we have what it takes. Again, the only way to prove that to people, if that is even something you would want, is to create the results. That's why it's never going to be enough that you could make it happen. And you ask yourself, why isn't anybody getting it? People are not living in your mind. And they probably have put you in the category of emotionally intelligent. And therefore, they're not aware of everything you can create in like this, logic and smart in this non-emotional way. So if you wanted to prove them, you just have to make it happen. It's never going to be enough to say, it is completely true, I understand it, why isn't everybody getting it? That's just the way it is. Reason number 4 why the INFJ's intelligence gets underestimated is because we're long-term thinkers. The way our intelligence comes through isn't going to be, visible or being able to be appreciated tomorrow. The ideas that we have take time. We're looking at the big picture. We're looking at big changes. And those things will take time. So most people are not going to be around you to see that transformation. They're not going to be there to see that you made all of that happen. It's going to take time. And we have to be aware of this, that this is not something that is a bad thing, that this is just the way we think. And those are the things that excite us. Very rarely you'll find INFJs who will have some kind of ideas that can be manifested tomorrow. It is something that is all about creating a life, right? We are great architects for our life if we allow ourselves to do that. But if we are doing something and in one way or another we're hoping that people are going to get it, it is a waste of time, because by default, it's going to take a long time. And even if those people are still in your life, you're not going to care about it anymore once you've reached that goal. And they're not going to be aware that there was a discussion about it. If you know this from the beginning, when you start doing your project, then you're doing this because you're proving maybe the world wrong. You are proving to yourself that you can do it. And you're not doing it in order to prove that one particular person wrong or to show them that there's more about you. Know this. Know that you're doing things because you like the progress. You're doing this because you want to prove to yourself that you're keeping the promises you make to yourself. And then all the amazing things start happening. And then people will come into your life and they will see you how you're living at that moment. And that's just the way it is. And they might make a conclusion of, oh, that person must be smart in order to have transformed their life like this. Or they might look at you and say, no, I don't really care. One way or another, it doesn't matter. because you are doing things for yourself and you know that you're a long-term thinker. So it takes some time before you see the results of your ideas and your internal logic. And the fifth reason why the INFJ's intelligence gets underestimated is because we have an exponential learning curve. You will always be slower than others if you start with the same knowledge in one area. That's just a fact. You're going to be faster than others because you might have had experience in similar areas, or because you've had some kind of connection to the topic, or because the other person in general doesn't have what it takes to make that happen, but you do, you're just slow at it, right? But if you have a person with the same capacity that you have, with a similar knowledge, with a similar pace, you will always be slower than them in learning what it takes, in learning how it works, because you as an INFJ work in a way that requires you to understand the concept. I've talked about it in a couple of videos ago. When you learn that 2 times 3 is 6, you're not learning, okay, I have 3 and then I have 2 times that and that is 6. What you learn is how multiplication works. So in the beginning, it will be much easier for the other person to remember, oh, okay, 2 times 3 is 6, but that's not going to be enough for you. You will want to understand how it works. And so it will take some time until you have reached this place where, the exponential curve is higher than the linear curve, where you recognize that all of that effort that you've put into understanding the concept plays out. And that will happen, but it will take time. It's an exponential curve, and you will look like a person who's slower, who won't get it, and who won't get better at it. Because in the beginning, it's a slow rise, and then it changes into this exponential thing. Again, something that you have to be aware of as an INFJ, something that shouldn't keep you back, because you already know this is how it works, and this is what's happening. So don't look left and right, and if you do, and you see that people are faster than you, no, that's okay. That's how they work. That's how they make those conclusions. You work in a different way. Your mind works differently. But that doesn't mean that it's in any kind of way less effective. It just takes some time to see the results of all that labor and all of the way of your incredible intelligence. If you want to know how to use that INFJ intelligence to create the life of your dreams, then get the poster on the formula of the INFJ Epic Life, or get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the video, What Happens When the INFJ Embraces Their Extraordinary Learning Style.